The Minnesota Timberwolves have absolutely shocked the NBA. They've shocked the entire basketball world and have jumped out to a 17-1 record, or 17-5 record, first in the NBA Western Conference, which is by far the tougher conference. Looking at the preseason odds compared to the current odds, you can see they've, cut their odds by over half. And the biggest reason is the defensive output for the Timberwolves this year. It has been elite. You see the numbers on the screen right there. The biggest three in the NBA. You got big threes, and then you got the biggest three, which resides in Minnesota. But it all goes around Anthony Edwards, the best player on the best team in the best conference. And he's looking like an absolute monster. Yes, 24.5 points a game. Been in a little bit of a slump lately. He was averaging, close to 26.5, and then 5.6 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and 1.2 steals. As well, he's been out a little bit here lately, but much improved defender, and the Timberwolves as a whole are just a much improved team. This is the team that struggled to even make the play-in last year, and now they are 17-5 with the 8th best odds to win the NBA championship. 45% from the field, 38% from 3 on 6 attempts in 33 minutes a night for Anthony Edwards. So very efficient for a 22-year-old. He's still learning. Like I said, he's still 22. He's a young guard in the NBA. He's still learning, but he's got all kinds of time, and he's got plenty of help as well. This is a fun, young team for the most part. The biggest three, pretty young for the most part, except for Rudy Gobert. He's a bit up there. But we'll start with Cat, who is having one of the most underrated seasons in the NBA, averaging almost 22 points a game to go with 9 rebounds and 3 assists in 33 minutes a game. And you might be wondering how these numbers equate to the most underrated season in the NBA. Well, get this. As a 7-footer, he is almost putting up 50-40-90 efficiency. If you don't know what that is, actually not almost, he is putting up 50-40-90 efficiency. If you don't know what that is, it's the most prestigious club for shooters in the NBA. Can score from all 3 levels. And Karl Anthony Towns at 7 foot is one of the only 7-footers I know that can do that, other than, obviously Kevin Durant, who tries to hide the fact that he's 7 foot by being listed at 6'9". Everybody knows, though. And then Rudy Gobert, while Cat is the offensive-minded guy here, Rudy Gobert is the defensive-minded guy. The highest-rated defensive player in the NBA. We'll get into more of that later. But you see the numbers on the year there. Over 2 blocks a game for Rudy. 62% from the field, 33 minutes per game, 0.5 steals. But the big thing for Rudy is, he doesn't average the most blocks in the NBA or anything. But he alters so many shots just because people, they see him down there and they just, maybe I shouldn't take a layup right here. It's kind of crazy. And then Naz Reid, who comes off the bench, who would be starting for most NBA teams right now. But people just, if you think that's a crazy statement, just check out these numbers. 13 and about 5 or 4.5 rebounds a game. But that's only in 22 minutes a night. Look at the per 36 numbers. He is 3rd on the team in per 36 numbers, averaging 21 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 1.2 steals per game, all while he himself is almost in the 50-40-90 club, which is kind of crazy. 2 7-footers, and both of them are almost in the 50-40-90 club. Well, one of them is. The other one is close. He's only 3% away. So if you are enjoying today's video at any point, and if you like NBA basketball, this is the place to be. We're posting NBA videos every single day. So make sure to the like button and hit that subscribe button, as it really helps out in the YouTube algorithm. And with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on here looking at the Clamps. This team, they've got 4 guys in the top 20 when it comes to defensive rating with a minimum of 200 minutes played this year, or maybe it's 2,000. Anyways, Rudy Gobert number 1, Cat at number 2. The Twin Towers up there. And then you also got guys like Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards. Jaden McDaniels is really good, but he's only averaging 24 minutes a game, and he's missed 12 games. So he does not qualify for being in that list. But on the year, he's averaging about 10 points, 2.5 rebounds in 24 minutes on pretty good efficiency. 56% shooting from the field, 37% from 3. That is good efficiency from Jaden McDaniels. As obviously an elite defender, also being able to knock down the 3 ball. That is, a very welcome addition to his game if you're a Timberwolves fan. However, this roster does have a little bit of pressure with it because, as you can see here, they are locked up when it comes to the financial side of things. Mike Conley, He's probably going to have to go. Kyle Anderson will probably have to go. They probably won't even be able to pick up the team option on Shake Milton. They're going to be relying on a lot of young guys over the next few years, but at least their core four is locked in. Speaking of Mike Conley, he's been one of the most underrated point guards in the league so far. 11.5 points, 6.2 assists, and 3.1 rebounds per game. On 45% shooting from the field, 43% from three, and he's only averaging 1 turnover a game, so 6-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. That is very, very nice there. And then you've also got guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who in his own right is a very highly rated defensive player. You got Shake Milton, Kyle Anderson. Slow-Mo himself has been solid, giving him about 8 a night off that bench for the Timberwolves. Sorry, somebody got mad at me for saying T-Wolves in the last video. For the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then you also have Shake Milton, the off-season addition for this squad. So three pretty solid options off the bench there to go along with, obviously, Naz Reid, even though Naz Reid is their third leading scorer. Looking at the standings the rest of the way, they are a full 2 games ahead of the Oklahoma City Thunder and 2.5 games ahead of the Dallas Mavericks for that 2 spot. So they're comfortable. They are right where they want to be. Honestly, at this point in the season, I really wasn't expecting the Timberwolves to even be in the playoffs. But maybe I'm a casual. However, I mean, like I said, this is crazy. Nobody thought they had the 16th best odds. They were barely projected to make the play-in at the beginning of the year. Looking at their upcoming schedule, though, they play Dallas. That game will tip off about 30 minutes after this video is posted. Then they get Indiana, Miami, Philadelphia, the Lakers, the Kings, the Thunder, and the Mavericks again. Extremely tough stretch coming up. But they've had it pretty easy. They got to play Memphis, Utah, Charlotte, San Antonio, and Memphis again. So they've had it easy. Now it's time to see if they're real, if they're legit or not, because this is a tough stretch of the year and we don't know the status of Anthony Edwards. Y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, though. I think this is, a really fun time to be a Minnesota Timberwolves basketball fan because Anthony Edwards is, man, he is going to be fun to watch every night for the next 10 years if you're a Minnesota fan. Don't let that cat get away. And then you also have Cat himself down in the paint. You got Rudy Gobert. Defensively, this is a really tough squad. They're going to have to find some guys, some hidden gems, kind of like the Miami Heat do, to be able to fill out that roster because they have no cap space going forward. But guys like maybe Leonard Miller could step up. I really like him. You talk about a defensive-minded player coming to the best defensive team in the league. I think the fit is perfect. You also got Wendell Moore, your first-round pick from a couple of years ago. So there's definitely some options there, but that's what you're going to have to do going forward. So make sure you hit the like button and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy today's video at any point. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.